right wing loves to talk about liberty and freedom of expression, and how they're just a lot more open and less censorious than the libs are. Except, look, at the end of the day, conservatives are gonna conservative, and they're against certain cultural norms. They're against open celebration of sexuality. They're against porn. I mean, Ben Shapiro wrote an entire book on it. So for any of you who might have forgotten, for any of you who might identify as right wing but enjoy actual freedom of expression and liberty, you should probably understand that what happened at a Turning Point USA event over the weekend is what conservatives are really about. So there's a porn star. Her name is Brandy Love, and apparently she is a conservative who was somehow a fan of Turning Point USA and wanted to attend their weekend event in, I believe, Florida. Yes, in Tampa, Florida. It's the Turning Point USA Student Action Summit, which sounds like a lot of fun. And so Brandy Love buys VIP access to this event, shows up, and apparently the event, which is designed to teach students how to defend conservatism on campus, is not so friendly to adult stars like Brandy Love. So first she tweeted about attending the event. Let's show you some of those tweets. She says, all checked in, stats so far, anti-adult haters 1, Kid Rock conservatives 12. All right, so she's having a good time. And seems like everything's running smoothly until controversy ensues. People start to realize that she's an adult actress. I mean, it's not like any of them ever watched the porn or recognized her from the porn, but you know, I'm sure they found out some other way and decided to revoke her admission to the event. And she was not happy about that. So later she had tweeted out the email that was sent to her from Turning Point USA indicating that her invitation had been revoked. And she's now literally selling anti-Turning Point USA merchandise, including this really fun shirt that says, I triggered Charlie Kirk. So anyone who works in the adult industry, you're not welcome at Turning Point USA events, because look, at the end of the day, they're conservatives, okay? It doesn't matter how they try to rebrand themselves. The whole point of Turning Point USA is to intimidate the hell out of professors on college campuses who teach anything that makes conservatives uncomfortable in the country. And yes, that includes open sexuality, that includes, adult content. That's who conservatives are. That's how conservatives have always been. I think people who think otherwise are just fooling themselves. But Woz, what do you think?
It's interesting because there is a sort of uneasy tension within American conservatism because, let's face it, these are the people who thought it was fine that not only did Donald Trump say grab him by the, but they were fine with the idea that he would do it, right? So, you have the party with a group of people who are like, let's go back to calling women broads and Me Too is bull, et cetera, which is in direct tension with the sex police and the God botherers. And so that's what you end up having happened here with Brandy Love, whose work I've seen in the past. She's not the worst at what she does. And that's why you have this incredible tension with Brandy Love where she goes to a conservative conference and it's like, no, we don't like your version of freedom of expression because it's sex. And sex is bad.
Yeah, look, you're absolutely right about that. I should also note that Brandy Love is a writer for The Federalist. So she has put out conservative content as well. And she shared details about what she experienced at this Turning Point USA event on The Daily Caller. And she writes this: is this an example of cancel culture? It's one of the more egregious examples of it. Turning Point USA literally opened the show talking about how we need to fight back against big tech censorship, cancel culture, the deterioration of our First Amendment, etc. Charlie Kirk literally talked about making sacrifices as outspoken conservatives, something I've been for years at great risk and great loss. And then they expelled me. It's hard to make that up. It's a worst worst case example of cancel culture. But she's steeped in conservative circles. How do you not know that you're not welcome? I guess that's the thing that always kind of shocks me about conservatives who actually have pretty liberal social views, right? Because like the Ben Shapiros are never gonna be accepting of the gay community. I mean, he told Dave Rubin to his face that he wouldn't go to an event celebrating his gay marriage because he's anti-gay marriage. He wrote an entire book that's anti-porn and how it should be banned in the United States. Like, they're never gonna change their views. Like, the core of who they are is socially conservative. You know, the New York Times referring to Ben Shapiro as the cool kid's philosopher doesn't magically make him cool or magically make him socially liberal. Like, he is who he is. Conservatives are who they are. They haven't changed at all when you really think about it.
Yeah, if anything, they've gone backwards on a lot of this stuff. And again, it's always steeped in, well, what will the kids? Oh no, the kids might see a tit. No, heavens, no. It's like, it's nonsense. And again, if she's been paying attention at all, that's one of the dominant strains of the party. Yep. This anti-sex strain of the party. They're very dominant and ascendant. This whole church stuff and evangelical and all of that. They're very judgmental about the work that somebody like a Brandy Love does. They don't even think your job should exist. And that's the problem for a lot of conservatives who basically their beliefs come down to people are getting too much welfare. Mm-hmm. Right? when that's the sort of how you orient your conservatism and you don't take into account anything else that the movement is participating in, that's how you end up getting embarrassed at a freaking conference where they're revoking your pass. And even though you were promoting it and being all happy about it on social, they still kicked your ass to the curb.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And I want to be clear about the double standard, because while evangelicals might have a problem with an adult actress like Brandy Love, they certainly had no problem with anything Donald Trump did, either in his personal life or publicly, you know, with the statements that you mentioned earlier, Woz, and also with just his, you know, getting married and divorced several times, having children from different women. Like
come on.
These are supposed to be things that evangelicals are against, but that double standard exists. I think a lot of it has to do with Donald Trump, you know, running for president and being president, but I think the double standard is also related to gender. There's a lot less, I guess, willingness to turn the other cheek when the person in question is a woman, and in this case, an adult actress like Brandy Love. Like, no, they're never gonna accept you. They might take your support, they might take Caitlyn Jenner's support when it's convenient. But at the end of the day, these are people who are not welcome in this party, and that's never gonna change.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.